The Incredible Floating Girl, a story in 3 parts. Part 1, First Flight.
May I share with you a story? It is wild and it is true. Believe me when I say this, there was once a girl who flew. She was just a few months old when her dad put her to bed, and laughing, up she went, and on the ceiling hit her head. He caught her safely, but was still in disbelief. He tried to tell his wife, but she said, "Dear, you need more sleep." Sure enough, it happened again, and her dad said, "See, every time I come near this girl, she loses her gravity." Smiling wide and laughing loud, up, up, up she'd go, and there he would stand, terrified, shaking down below. I will catch you, please get down here," he'd cry. But she only floated higher when her father was nearby. Floating runs in all families. How it works, we do not know. And I'm sorry here to add that you forget how as you grow.
Part 2, Forgetting.
Though frightening for her father, it was beautiful to see. A graceful, smiling girl, gliding from tree to tree. Quiet places were discovered where she could fly outside. Her father would watch from below with feelings of great pride. But as the girl grew older, the pressure, it grew too. And slowly something happened. Less and less she flew. So in tiny pieces, little by little and day by day, the whole problem of floating simply floated away. By the end of grade school, she didn't float at all. By the end of junior high, it was just a dream, that's all. High school and college ended. The daughter moved away. She took a job and grew up, as they'd all hoped she'd do one day. No one could recall or say quite what had happened. Was the floating they'd seen real or something they'd all imagined? But every now and then, something she saw or felt or heard would make her heart skip a beat, like looking up to see a bird. She'd think to herself, "Dear girl, something must be wrong with you." Yet somewhere not too distant, her father felt it too.
Part 3, The Great Remembering.
And so life moved along as life is known to do. So much had been forgotten, so much they all once knew. But we never are too distant. We're never just too far to come back and remember who we really are. Her dad was on the highway as he tried to find a way through knots of snarled up traffic so he could see her that day. He rushed as he was able, pushing every single limit, because a grandson was arriving at precisely any minute. As she looked upon her baby and did so lovingly, she suddenly saw something she never dreamed she'd see. How in the world? Who could think it? A happily floating baby with a floating baby blanket? The daughter, the new mother, shook at what she saw. And in that moment, yes, that moment, she remembered it all. She remembered the floating, the soaring, the flying, the lightness, the laughing, the stopping, the crying. She remembered how she glided over fields and over water, but most of all, yes, most of all, she thought about her father. It was in that instant, it was then she finally knew. Him, it was him, he was why she flew. Was it a magical connection or some kind of surprise? Something in his presence always helped her to rise. She remembered how he stood by with eyes full of care. Never did she fly unless he was there. Thinking back to flying and the magic she once knew, she was like her father, with her child floating too. Just then the room's door opened, and I tell you as it did, the daughter saw her father, and he looked to see her lift. May we all remember the magic we have known, and never forget we need each other. No person flies alone. Should your spark start to fade because of stress or time or fear, you'll need reminding of your flying and the reasons we are here. to fly and help each other fly. It's wild and it is true. To fly and help each other fly. It's what we're here to do.